All right. So here on the pre-market today, guys, I'm gonna do it like we do every single day. All right, and rejected. All right, so we're down here back testing this midpoint now. So I think buys are probably more valid. All right, since we're now forming higher lows off of the mid on gold. But again, the true breakout area here between 33.89 and 33.93, if we can clear this zone, this gives us a pretty good indication of a launch to the upside. Again, if we can re-enter this zone and get buyers to step into this market, it gives us a pretty good indication of that. All right, if you have any questions on gold, drop them in the chat. All right, so let's take a look here on oil. Again, oil gapped up similar to gold at the market open and has since then pushed back down. So contextually speaking, again, we've been between this level of 70 and 60, 76 to 77 here. And you can see with this gap up, made a push right up to 78, 72, and then have pushed back down. Now from last Friday's session, we are forming another kind of higher end zone here at 73.43. All right, so we haven't made any further attempts to back down to 70 in a little bit now. And so we're forming higher lows above 70. So we're kind of slowly but surely leaving this zone and forming a more higher end zone up here. All right, so on oil today, we have the current previous low at 73.43. And you can see we've failed this a couple of times, but now we've double bottomed off of it here. And so a double bottom is a pretty good indication of a pretty strong, like a pretty strong low that if it were to fail would be pretty significant. All right, here at 73.45-ish to 73.45 to 73.14, kind of this price action range here. All right, but we're double bottoming off of it, and so we're gonna have to again, similar to gold, give this a second to see where it actually wants to end up. We got the low of the band down here, 72.94. All right, we got the high band up here at 77.27. Pretty high up there, actually. All right, because we've had some price action up here, so the band is going to be pretty high. All right, so similar on oil today, we can see that the previous high was here at 75.59. All right, so I think any recoveries of 75.59 likely gives us a little bit of a push up. Again, it kind of just depends on which direction. I mean, gold and are we using the VAS indicator at all? Absolutely. I mean, that's what we're doing here. So you see these these yellowed dotted lines. These are meant to resemble where the current bands are on the indicator. All right, so what we're using, Padma, in combination with the indicator, all right, because the indicator is the what, all right? And so the indicator is like the kind of the what we do, all right? And then the key levels that we're establishing here on price is the why. All right, so if we can develop a context, this is where I think if you combine this with the indicator, it's unstoppable. All right, because we're actually kind of narrowing down the key levels in the market of where price action either resists or finds support. We use those two things together, right? Because you could see how closely these line up, right? With this previous low, we're just below this previous low. All right, we're just below this previous high on the indicator here. All right, so that's what these dotted yellow lines resemble. Using those in combination together, all right, makes the indicator unstoppable. All right, so it's kind of like an added confluence. This confirms that this has flipped to a supply zone. So a supply zone is where sellers build up their positions, right? So where we did see buyers here, historically, they obviously lost the strength to push back up. So therefore, this is where sellers started jumping in the market. That's why it flips to a supply zone. All right. So yeah, if it's like previous, if it's like a red up above, that just means it was a previous low. All right. So technically, like if we recover 33.57 to 33.67, technically that's bullish, right? The only reason that this is the major high right now is because we've obviously lost this previous zone here, and you can see we rejected off here. That's why 33.47 is painted green. All right. I'm going to leave this red for now because if I was in a buy, I would for sure, like macro target should for sure be 33.67. All right. So like, let's say we hop into a buy at the recovery of 33.31. All right. I mean, that's 160 ticks right there to 33.47. So I'd probably cut out 75% and like 60, 60 to 75, maybe like right here. I'd cut out 75% and then see if we can let the rest run, see if we get up to 33.47. And then if we get above 33.47, we see what happens up here at the high, at this previous low.